the 8 Nordic countries, where happiness is an identity. Imagine waking up in a society where trust isn't a luxury, but the invisible glue of every interaction. While the rest of the world is trapped in the financial pain of soaring inflation and fracturing social ties, the Nordic Council nations have quietly engineered a daily reality sanctuary that functions with the precision of a luxury watch. Today, we aren't just visiting 8 locations, we are dissecting the secret blueprint for the most stable civilizations on Earth, starting with the clinical perfection of Denmark. While Denmark acts as the quiet architect of the North, a place where life is frictionless and every gear is oiled by universal trust, our next destination represents a sovereign contrast. We're moving from the managed environment of Danish streets, where the rhythmic whir of bicycle chains is the heartbeat of the city, to a landscape of primal silence, where nature itself is the only authority. Stay with me, because by the time we explore the curiosity gaps of Åland and Greenland, you will realize that everything you thought you knew about the standard of living was only half the story. We count down the 8 Nordic countries. Let's start.
Number 8. Åland, the demilitarized sanctuary. Imagine waking up to a world where the very concept of conflict has been written out of the local laws. In the heart of the Baltic Sea lies Åland, an autonomous Swedish-speaking sanctuary nestled within a Finnish sea, a geographic paradox that serves as the ultimate curiosity gap for those seeking a life of absolute stability. As you breathe in the crystalline Baltic air, you are stepping into a territory that has been demilitarized for over a century. There are no barracks, no soldiers, and no military-industrial complex. This isn't just a quiet island, it is a living experiment in peace that ranks as one of the safest regions on the planet. For the digital nomad or the security-focused family, Åland offers a whispering wealth lifestyle, where trust in your neighbor is the primary social currency, and the social glue is so strong that keys are often left in the ignition. From an economic perspective, Åland is a maritime powerhouse disguised as a tranquil escape. While the world's major economies face financial pain, Åland maintains a robust and resilient GDP fueled by high-tech shipping and a bustling tourism sector. The transparency of their system is unmatched, with a population of roughly 30,000, a net monthly salary averaging $3,200 USD, and a paycheck stretch that covers high-quality healthcare for a nominal fee. This is where financial prosperity meets psychological safety. The standard of living here is a physical safety net that catches everyone, ensuring that no one is left behind. In 2026, as the global map shifts toward instability, Åland stands as a sanctuary of certainty, offering an unprecedented growth in lifestyle quality that most metropolitan centers can only imagine. We've just explored the Faroe Islands, a micro-masterpiece of engineering where humanity used dynamite and sheer willpower to conquer the North Atlantic. But while the Faroes are a battle against nature's wrath, Åland is a battle against human nature itself. If the Faroes are the architects of infrastructure, Åland is the architect of diplomacy. We are trading the nail-biting cliffs of the Atlantic for the demilitarized silence of the Baltic. While the Faroes showed us how to build through the earth, Åland shows us how to live in harmony with our borders. Are you ready to see how a place with zero weapons became one of the most powerful sanctuaries in the world as we cross into our next no-fly mystery?
Number 7. Faroe Islands, the Valley of Wings and Water. Imagine descending into a subterranean abyss where the North Atlantic's crushing weight is held back by nothing but a masterpiece of engineering willpower. Here, in the Faroe Islands, the Valley of Wings and Water, the infrastructure isn't just functional, it is surreal. Picture yourself driving through subsea tunnels that glow with neon blue artistic lighting, a subterranean gateway connecting 18 rugged islands that feel like they were pulled straight from a storybook. While Greenland challenges you with its nail-biting aerial entries, the Faroes welcome you with a precision system that runs with the accuracy of a luxury watch, proving that even in the most rugged frontier, human ambition can breathe life into the impossible. Step out of the neon abyss and into the heart of the home, where the kitchen party isn't just an event, it's the island's social glue. In a world of digital disconnection, the Faroese culture is anchored in absolute trust and whispering wealth. Imagine a morning where you don't just visit a village, you are embraced by it, entering a home for a shared meal where honesty is the currency. This is the social safety net in its purest form, a sanctuary from modern chaos, where your neighbors aren't just residents, they are the guardians of a tension-free environment. This small moment of communal dining reveals a classless society that prioritizes human well-being over the global grind. But don't let the timeless serenity fool you. This is a lucrative haven where the economy is booming on the back of sustainable innovation. The Faroes represent a perfect aspirational balance where professional success meets deep-seated peace. As we move from these crashing waves and understated luxury, we prepare to enter a world that is the vibrant mirror to this quiet strength. If the Faroe Islands are the quiet architect of contentment, our next destination is the global titan of activity. We are trading the sound of cowbells for the pulse of a high-tech city, moving from a sanctuary of silence to a mecca of motion. Are you ready to see how standard of living shifts when ancient tradition meets future ambition?
Number 6. Greenland, the giant of the north. While the world dismisses Greenland as a frozen relic of the past, the geopolitical reality of 2026 reveals it as the frontier of the future. This isn't just a desolate sheet of ice, it is a subarctic powerhouse sitting on a treasure trove of rare earth minerals and strategic shipping lanes that are redrawing the global map. To visit Greenland is to witness the birth of a new era where the melting permafrost is revealing economic gold mines that have triggered a modern cold rush. It is the Wild West of the North, a place where ancient glaciers meet space-age ambition, proving that the most remote corner of the Earth is quickly becoming its most vital asset. Navigating this ice giant requires a psychological fortress, because Greenland is the ultimate aviation nightmare. This is a land where planes don't land, not because they aren't allowed, but because the physical laws of the Arctic often forbid it. Outside of the nail-biting approach into Nuuk or the military gateway of Kangerlussuaq, the interior is a no-fly dead zone dominated by katabatic winds, invisible gravity-driven Goliaths that can swat a modern aircraft out of the sky like a paper toy. With zero visibility whiteouts and a terminal lack of emergency runways across the 1.7 million square kilometer ice sheet, most of Greenland remains an aerial forbidden zone, making every successful landing a triumph of engineering over nature's wrath. We've just witnessed the raw sovereignty of Greenland, a land where nature dictates the rules of survival and geography is the ultimate power player. But as we leave the nail-biting runways of the north, we are about to enter a territory that is the polar opposite in every sense. If Greenland is the giant of the future, defined by its untamed wilderness, our next country is a micro-masterpiece defined by absolute precision. We are trading the whiteout storms for clockwork efficiency. While Greenland struggles to find a place to land a plane, our next stop has engineered a way to thrive in a space so small, most maps forget it exists. Are you ready to see how size is completely redefined when we cross the border into our next no-fly mystery? Number 5. Iceland. Fire, ice, and finance. Imagine waking up to a world where the air is so crisp it feels like drinking liquid diamonds, and the ground beneath your feet thrums with the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. This is Iceland, a sensory explosion where the raw geothermal heat of the Earth's core meets the jagged, unyielding Arctic frost. We are moving away from the Mediterranean soul of our previous entry to a place that treats nature as ancient guardians and engineering miracles simultaneously. Here, the geographic drama is non-negotiable. You aren't just moving to a country, you are moving into a living stage where daring human ambitions have carved a high-tech financial haven out of volcanic rock and turquoise ice. However, for the tour community to thrive, I must apply the brutal honesty rule. Iceland is a sanctuary, but it is an expensive one that demands specific paycheck stretch analysis. To maintain your trust, you need to know that the financial pain here is real. The cost of imports means a simple grocery run can feel like a luxury investment, and the volcanic risk isn't a myth, it's a daily reality that requires a mindset of stability through resilience. This is a whispering wealth destination for the digital nomad or the high-ambition entrepreneur who views a 0% PST environment and geothermal independence as a fair trade for the occasional unpredictable eruption. While Iceland offers a rugged, off-grid prestige that touches the soul, it lacks the frictionless life and social glue of our next destination. If the fire and ice feels too intense for your fresh start, then the next country on our list will be your standard of comparison for total urban perfection. We're trading the soundtrack of nature and the lonely fjords for a metropolitan anchor where the social safety net is so robust it makes the North Atlantic feel like a distant dream. Let's leave the volcanic peaks behind and head toward the world's most ordered. Number 4. Finland, the science of happiness. Forget the gloomy stereotype of a frozen, silent wasteland. In 2026, Finland has scientifically debunked the myth that happiness requires tropical sun. While the world views the North as cold and depressing, the Finns are operating on a high-frequency psychological frequency known as sisu, a unique blend of stoic grit and quiet resilience that turns environmental hardship into a competitive advantage. According to the latest 2026 Happiness Index, their top ranking isn't about constant smiles, it's about the infrastructure of contentment. It is a social masterclass where the absence of status anxiety creates a national equilibrium. In Finland, happiness isn't a fleeting emotion you chase, it is a durable asset built into the very DNA of the state, proving that true joy is often found in the stability of the system rather than the heat of the climate. To understand the functional core of this happiness, look away from the grand palaces and focus on a micro-moment of direct democracy. Imagine a local Finn, perhaps a teacher or a carpenter, standing in a community hub to cast a vote on a granular issue like the placement of a new bike path or the budget for a neighborhood sauna. This isn't just bureaucracy, it is a clinical exercise in agency. When citizens feel their individual pulse directly influences the collective heartbeat of their town, cynicism dies and trust becomes the national currency. This small moment represents the golden thread of Finnish life, a sovereign belief that every person is a primary architect of their own society, creating a psychological safety net that no amount of global volatility can shake. Finland has proven that happiness is a quiet science, a social blueprint built on trust and transparency. But as we leave the sisu spirit of the North, we're about to enter a world where success isn't just felt, it is constructed on a colossal scale. If Finland is the silent architect of contentment, our next country is the vibrant titan of the South. We're moving from the micro moments of local democracy to the macro ambitions of a nation that refuses to sleep. While Finland mastered the art of being, our next stop has mastered the art of becoming. Are you ready to see how the standard of living shifts when quiet trust meets global power?
Number 3. Norway, the responsible sibling. As our journey north continues, the rugged pines of Sweden give way to the crystalline majesty of the Norwegian fjords, the ancient guardians of the north. Imagine a landscape where the earth has been carved into emerald ribbons of water, flanked by vertical cliffs that seem to hold up the very sky. While other nations might treat natural beauty as a backdrop, Norway treats its entire geography as a sacred heritage. This is the land of quiet resilience, where the air is so sharp it feels like a fresh start for the soul. You aren't just looking at a view, you are witnessing the geological backbone of a nation that has mastered the art of stoic grandeur, standing firm against the North Atlantic for millennia. However, the true secret sauce of Norway's power isn't just its scenery, it's the way it handles its trillion-dollar fortune. If Sweden is the industrial soul, Norway is the responsible sibling of the global economy. While most nations spend their resource wealth like a quick fix, Norway treats its oil revenue like a luxury watch, an heirloom of precision management intended not for today's vanity, but for the unborn generations of the future. Through its sovereign wealth fund, the state has built a financial fortress that ensures every citizen has a psychological safety net that is virtually unmatched. This isn't just national savings, it is a clinical commitment to the idea that wealth should be a stable pulse, not a volatile surge, making it the ultimate standard of comparison for how a country can be both wealthy and wise. For the global nomad or the ambitious professional, the financial reality of Norway is a high-stakes trade-off. Yes, the grocery list cost in Oslo is world-renowned for its economic friction, where a simple coffee can feel like a minor investment, but the paycheck stretch comes from what you don't pay for. With average gross salaries for skilled roles often exceeding $7,000 per month, your take-home reality of roughly $4,800 buys you more than just goods. It buys you agency over your time. In a world obsessed with the daily grind, Norway offers a life-work equilibrium, where the human culture dictates that at 4 p.m. the office lights dim so the mountain trails can begin. It is a sanctuary of predictability in an unpredictable decade, proving that the most attractive asset a country can offer in 2026 is the peace of mind that comes from masterful responsibility. We've seen the iron discipline of Sweden and the patient wealth of Norway, two nations that have mastered the cold with scientific precision. But what happens when you take that same desire for high-octane success and move it to a land of eternal summer? If Norway is the responsible sibling saving for the future, our next destination is the Golden Maverick, a place that doesn't just manage wealth, it invents it amidst azure horizons and sun-drenched ambition. From the ancient guardians of the fjords, we are heading to the modern miracles of the desert. Can you guess which global magnet is redefining the luxury lifestyle?
Number 2. Sweden, the industrial soul. As you cross the Öresund Bridge, the pastoral Hygge of Denmark evaporates into the teeth of a giant, a rugged, pine-scented landscape where the ancient guardians of the Swedish forests stand watch over the most sophisticated tech hub on the planet. This is the land of whispering wealth, a cultural phenomenon where luxury is never shouted, but is instead handled with discipline through world-class design and a tech ecosystem that has become the Silicon Valley of Europe. Imagine waking up in a fortress of 30,000 islands where the industrial pulse of global titans like Spotify and Volvo beats in perfect harmony with a timeless serenity. We are witnessing a high-stakes paradox, a nation that dominates the global stage with its industrial giant energy while maintaining an understated soul that refuses to succumb to the noise of modern excess. Actually, the secret sauce of this Swedish stability isn't just luck, it is a clinical commitment to the scientific methodology of work-life harmony. For those looking to join this high-tech haven, the financial trust builder lies in the transparency of the numbers. Let's look at the net nuance for a mid-level software engineer in Stockholm. While a gross salary of $6,500 per month sounds like a trillion-dollar dream, the reality keyword is that after the state takes its share for your physical safety net, your net take-home is roughly $4,400. It sounds like a financial pain until you realize your grocery list specificity reveals a world where your paycheck stretch buys a life of total psychological safety, where your nominal fee for world-class healthcare and free education means your salary is pure agency for your personal well-being. Surprisingly, Sweden has built a classless society where the whispering wealth philosophy ensures that the CEO cycles next to the student, creating a social glue that is rare in a decade defined by global uncertainty. Choosing a life here isn't just a career move, it is a fresh start narrative in a sanctuary that prioritizes human culture over the daily grind. In 2026, Sweden remains a global magnet for skilled professionals because it offers the ultimate return on investment, a life where time behaves differently, allowing you to trade individual risk for a life well lived. As we leave the cool, disciplined air of the Swedish industrial soul, prepare your senses for a sensory explosion. We are diving into a nation that traded Nordic iron for the warmth of the Mediterranean sun. If Sweden is the iron pulse of the North, disciplined, understated, and engineered for precision, our next stop is the flaming heart of the South. While the Swedes whisper their wealth through silent design, this next nation shouts its soul through crystalline waters and vibrant adrenaline. We are moving from the land of the ancient guardians, the pines, to the land of the turquoise ribbons, the coast. Are you ready for the sensory explosion?
Number 1. Denmark, the daily reality sanctuary. Imagine waking up where the morning air in Copenhagen doesn't just feel cold, it feels crisp, like a fresh page in a new book. You aren't merely observing a city, you are witnessing a high-level managed environment where the rhythmic whir of 1,000 bicycle chains acts as the heartbeat of a society designed for human well-being, not just machines. Why does this nation of nearly 6 million people consistently maintain its status as a social glue capital? It is because the concept of hygge isn't a travel brochure fantasy. It is a clinical, daily reality where the night walk visualization, the ability to walk safely at any hour, is an actualized standard of universal safety. In a world of digital disconnection, Denmark offers a sanctuary of order where the classless society isn't a myth, but a way of life where the CEO cycles alongside the student. Actually, the financial pain of Denmark's eye-watering tax brackets is the world's most successful secret source for stability. While the layman sees a paycheck swallowed by the state, our expert perspective reveals a strategic investment into a physical safety net that functions with the precision of a luxury watch. Let's look at the technical precision of this economy. Denmark boasts a GDP of approximately $410 billion, supported by global giants like Novo Nordisk. For a professional moving here, the average monthly net salary is roughly $3,800 after the investment into Social Security. While the cost of living is high, with a one-bedroom apartment in the city center averaging $1,600, the paycheck stretch buys a life where university is free, healthcare is a right, and the nominal fee for childcare ensures your financial peace is never compromised. Choosing to move here isn't just a change of address, it is one of the most important chapters of your life, a fresh start narrative where your worth is no longer measured by overtime, but by the quality of a quiet afternoon stroll. But how does this clinical perfection compare to the rest of the world? Denmark is the quiet architect of the world, a place where life is frictionless and every gear is oiled by universal trust. But while Denmark has perfected the science of stillness, our next destination has mastered the art of energy. We are moving from the managed environment of the Baltic to the unadulterated passion of an ancient titan. If Denmark is a precision timepiece, our next country is a symphonic explosion. We are trading the rhythmic whir of bicycle chains for the pulse of ancient streets, moving from a sanctuary of order to a mecca of raw vitality. Are you ready to see how standard of living transforms when Scandinavian stability meets Mediterranean soul?